To get Kitamura to become the next student council president, Taiga puts on a show in front of the school that she will ruin everyone's high school life if she were to be elected. Kitamura shows up at school to everyone's surprise. As Taiga tries to demonstrate how bad of a student council president she will be by swinging around the mic, the students wish that Kitamura would run for student council president. Later, Taiga and Ryuji explain to Yuri that it was an effort to get Kitamura to become the president because they think it would fix him. To help the cause, Yuri decides to teach Taiga and Ryuji how to use the printer so they can make flyers for Taiga's campaign. As days pass by, Taiga and Ryuji spread their flyers around the school, but Kitamura didn't do anything. At night, Ryuji gets a call from Murase, who is a member of the student council. In a hurry, Ryuji leaves the house to find Kitamura. During their conversation, Ryuji learns that Kitamura has a crush on Sumair, the current student council president. Kitamura was going to confess his feelings to Sumair after he gets elected as student president because that way he would earn her approval. Kitamura feels that running for president would be meaningless since Sumair is going to America because she wants to be an astronaut. Ryuji comments that nothing seems to go as planned, but he encourages Kitamura. Taiga calls for Ryuji and runs towards Ryuji because Taiga is worried that he left the house in a hurry. Kitamura sees this and says that he knew that they were trying to get him to become the president, and that they care about him. Before Kitamura goes home, he thanks Ryuji and tells Ryuji that he will not continue like this. Taiga asks Ryuji what the phone call was about, but Ryuji keeps it a secret. The day before the election, Taiga threatens the school if anyone doesn't vote for her. Kitamura shows up at school with his hair dyed back. Taiga and Ryuji are happy to see Kitamura. Going along with Taiga's performance, Kitamura announces that he will lead the student body, and the school cheers for him. However, to Ryuji's surprise, he learns from Yuki that Kitamura hasn't turned in his application for student council president yet, and the deadline is in 30 minutes. Ryuji rushes to the classroom to question Kitamura about the application, but Kitamura decides he is giving up on running. As they walk home together, Kitamura talks about how he joined the student council. After Taiga rejected him, Sumair encouraged him and gave him a position at the student council. Kitamura thinks he had a fun high school life, but he is too scared to step up. 2 minutes before the application is due, Kitamura decides to turn in his application, and he successfully becomes the student president. During Kitamura's speech in front of the school, Kitamura confesses to Sumair, which surprised everyone. Sumair rejects Kitamura by treating his confession as a joke. Ryuji questions Sumair afterward. Sumair explains that she wanted Kitamura to run for president, and not confess to her. Ryuji wanted to continue, but Taiga stops him because Ryuji should go comfort Kitamura. Although Taiga understands that she is not who Kitamura likes, she wants the best for him. Taiga proceeds to find Sumair in the classroom and fights her with a wooden sword. As Taiga and Sumair trade hits, Taiga calls Sumair a coward for hurting Kitamura. Ryuji comes in and stops the fight with the other students. Taiga wants Sumair to say that she hates Kitamura if she decides to reject Kitamura. Sumair says that she rejected Kitamura because she knows that if she expresses her feelings to Kitamura, he would follow. Sumair didn't want Kitamura to sacrifice for her. Unknowing to Sumair, Kitamura heard everything she said. Kitamura thanks her for everything, and he is glad that he fell in love with her. After the conflict, Taiga is suspended for 2 weeks. Then Ori finds Taiga has Kitamura's picture in her handbook and is uneasy. As Christmas approaches, Taiga says she loves Christmas and is looking forward to Santa Claus coming to Japan. Taiga asks Ryuji if he has been able to get closer to Minori while she was suspended, but since Ryuji hasn't made any progress, Taiga offers to help him, calling herself the Angel of Christmas. Later at school, they see that Taiga has a lot of fans because she won her fight, and an uncomfortable Taiga proclaims victory in front of the students. In their classroom, they see Minori acting strange and she has a minor breakdown in class. Later, Kitamura arrives to tell Taiga to talk to him instead of taking another challenge. Kitamura has also started a radio show about love confessions, and is calling himself the patron saint of broken hearts. At lunch, Ami overhears Taiga talking about Santa, and teases her, and while they argue, Kitamura announces a Christmas party for the class. Taiga encourages Ryuji to ask Minori to the Christmas party, and Taiga will help him. The class elects Taiga to help plan the party, and Taiga asks Minori to help, but Minori refuses because she was responsible for the softball team losing their recent game, and she needs to practice more. Ami tries to persuade her to go, but Minori continues to refuse. At home, Ryuji apologizes to his parrot and co for thinking about making chicken for Christmas, and Taiga finds him ridiculous. Taiga takes Ryuji to the restaurant Minori works at to ask Minori to change her mind, but Minori isn't there. Taiga also feels that Minori is now avoiding Ryuji for some reason. They are later joined by Kitamura and their classmates, who want to help Taiga and Kitamura get together to cheer up Kitamura ever since Sumair left for America. But Ryuji feels a little uncertain about their help, and his perceptive classmate Maya suggests that Ryuji may have feelings for Taiga. It is soon time for the Christmas party, and Taiga has been working hard to make the party a success because she is a huge fan of Christmas. Their teacher is happy with Taiga's efforts and Ryuji helping Taiga to study, but she won't join them for the Christmas party. Taiga and Ryuji later see Minori coming out of practice, but Minori quickly returns to her team and avoids them. Taiga hopes to make the party so fun that Minori has to come, but she gets upset when she sees Ami helping. Ryuji and Ami are later left alone, and Ryuji admits that he dislikes all their classmates trying to make Kitamura and Taiga a couple. Ami teases him, saying he is like a dad trying to protect his daughter, and she tells him that he needs to end his strange relationship with Taiga, and she secretly hopes to get closer with him. When class ends that day, the class prepares to go to the party, but Minori still refuses to go. Ryuji later meets Taiga at her apartment to deliver Christmas presents. He learns that when Taiga was young, she would volunteer with the nuns at her Catholic school to deliver presents for poor kids to show someone cares for them, and she likes Santa because it feels like someone is watching over her. She remembers when she was a little girl, she met Santa Claus at night but thinks it was likely a dream. The next day, the class worked together to prepare the gym for the Christmas party, and Ryuji watches as everyone supports Taiga in finishing the decorations for the party. The class set up a giant Christmas tree, but suddenly a softball flies through the window and knocks it over. The horrified Minori tries to apologize and repair the Christmas star as Taiga and Ryuji try to comfort her. Ryuji assures that everything is alright. Minori then leaves with her team after fixing the tree, and although Ryuji tries to persuade her, she continues to refuse to go to the party. Ryuji and Taiga prepare themselves and dress fancy for the Christmas party with the help of Ryuji's mother. She also gives Ryuji his grandfather's watch. They arrive at school to see many students also waiting for the party to start, and their teacher has arrived to wish them luck. Kitamura is dressed strangely, but announces the start of the Christmas party for the class. The class party and eat food, but Ryuji volunteers to help serve food because he is dissatisfied with the servers. The lights go out, and suddenly Taiga and Ami perform Christmas songs together for their class. Minori is alone by herself for Christmas Eve, and although Ryuji calls her to try to persuade her to come one last time, she ignores him. Ryuji later compliments Ami on her singing, and the fact that she and Taiga kept their performance a surprise for the class. Ami then tells him that Taiga has left the party to try to persuade Minori personally, and she is disappointed when Ryuji continues to worry about Taiga. Deciding he has to help, Ryuji leaves the party. Taiga has returned to her apartment after failing to persuade Minori to come to the party, and she resigns herself to another Christmas alone. She later hears banging on her window, and sees a costumed bear outside. She calls him Santa and shows him her Christmas tree, and after taking off his head, she thanks Ryuji for cheering her up. Taiga then tells him to hurry back to the Christmas party in case Minori changed her mind to go to the party. Ryuji tries to argue and stay with her, but Taiga tells him he already gave her a great present by pretending to be Santa, and that her present will be to have him see Minori at the party. But after she forces Ryuji to leave, Taiga cries and changes her mind. She tries to chase after him, but he has already left, and Minori, who was heading to the party, sees her sobbing. Ryuji arrives back at the school gate when Minori arrives and awkwardly rejects him with a riddled answer, and that night everyone spends Christmas alone. The new year has arrived and Taiga meets with Kitamura, telling him that Ryuji has gotten sick after the Christmas party. Taiga and Ryuji later talk about Minori's rejection, and Taiga is certain that Minori has feelings for Ryuji, but something is keeping them apart. She announces that she will learn to cook and clean after herself, and not go to his house anymore so she can be more independent, but that Ryuji needs to uncover Minori's true feelings. He later meets his classmate who lent him the bear costume, who found the present Ryuji never gave still in it from the Christmas party. The class is celebrating an upcoming trip to Okinawa, and when Ryuji sees Minori, he is unable to say anything to her and runs away. Their teacher announces that the Okinawa trip is cancelled because their hotel burned down, and they will be going on a ski trip instead. The class is very upset that their beach trip is cancelled. Kitamura later approaches Ryuji and senses he is in a bad mood, but Ryuji brushes him off. Ryuji later sees Ami and Taiga together in the city, and is surprised to see the two enemies have started to get along. At a cafe, Taiga tells Ami that Minori rejected Ryuji on Christmas Eve, but Taiga is certain that Minori still has feelings for Ryuji, so she wants to use the ski trip to discover Minori's true feelings. Ami wishes them good luck, but subtly tells Ryuji that he wasn't the only one hurt on Christmas Eve. Ryuji later thanks Taiga for helping him with Minori, and she tells him to believe in himself. The next morning, Taiga manipulates a situation to get Minori and Ryuji alone together, and after an uncomfortable start, the two start to talk normally. Ami is unhappy to see them enter school together. In class, Kitamura announces the groups for the trip, and they have to make a guide on what they want to do during the trip. Their trip group meets at Taiga's house to make the guide, and everyone is impressed with Taiga's place, where Minori is surprised to see how clean it is thanks to Ryuji. Ryuji later finds out that Minori hasn't visited Taiga in over a year because she was trying to give her friend some space. Minori admits to Ryuji that she is happy for this trip, as it will be the last big event for the class to be together before they all graduate. Ryuji becomes encouraged to use this trip to find out Minori's feelings, as he too feels that their time together as classmates will be ending. And on the way to the mountains, Ryuji is determined to try to confess to Minori one last time. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.